As I was exploring all of the stories that make up Anthology, I realized that I needed unique voices, and I thought Sidra Bell would be perfect. Sidra is an emerging voice in dance and in ballet, and I can't wait for her to bring her original thoughts, very thoughtful, to the work that she's going to create for us.
I started to conceptualize this work with Larissa Maestro and Paul Vasterling a couple of years ago. We started to talk about the story of Nashville and the hidden histories of the city and how we could look at that from a contemporary lens and think about how those hidden histories inform the rich fabric of Nashville.
Our community partner in the creation of Anthology is the Tennessee State Museum and Jeff Sellers, along with Nashville City Cemetery. Jeff gave Sidra and I a tour of the cemetery recently to inspire us, and we were just amazed. It really is a place of memory and a place of tribute, and I would highly recommend going there.
The first story that I'm choreographing is Lucinda Bedford's story. She was a very complex woman after the Civil War, having inherited money at the time as a woman of color and being wealthy in her neighborhood and being able to give back to the community.
What I really loved about her biography at the City Cemetery was that it said she was a philanthropist. This was a woman who made her way, who had power in Nashville in the middle 19th century, which was incredibly rare. She was smart and resourceful, and she had a lot of money and a lot of power.
I'm interested in how she leveraged her status to survive. So for me, that story is really a story about survival. The second story I'm working on is the mound builders story.
Some people will call them the mound builders, some people call them the Mississippians.
A people that predated the first settlers a couple of thousand years ago. And we know of them through the structures that they left behind on the land.
All we really have for the Mississippians are objects and things that we can discover in the Tennessee State Museum, and those give us clues to who they were.
And so the piece feels like it's visual pictures. It's nice to kind of think about what the world would have looked like then and how there was so much energy and spirituality in the land. I think as we tell stories of the past, we can also bring our personal histories to the process, and the dancers are who they are in the space, and so I'm definitely extracting movement from them and then also giving ideas. You can tell they all come from really eclectic backgrounds, which I think for this kind of work is really important. As a community, we're working the piece together, and it says a lot about the company and the leadership. There's something very live about the process, and Paul's vision of bringing all these eclectic voices together even. It feels like we're telling a historical narrative, but it's more about almost like a living history of the city.